Back in the day, before I started the training company, I noticed one day I got home from the store and I noticed how many pieces of laundry, well, I mean, there were just a ton of laundry sitting on top of my washer and dryer. And I was like, oh man, I got more laundry. And it felt like I was doing laundry every day for a while. And I was like, how do we have so much laundry? And every week we had so much piled up. Now, what I realized was, it wasn't that we had a lot of laundry, but it was that we were creating unnecessary work to create stress. I was doing stuff to keep myself busy, to think that I'm doing something. But it wasn't valuable. It's simple as that, yeah? It's very simple. So to find peace, you need to get rid of the clutter in your mind. You need to stop doing things that don't matter. You need to stop proving to yourself by doing busy work that you're worth getting paid. You're getting paid not because you're doing busy work and staying busy, because people are like, oh, how are you doing? Busy, right? You hear that a lot. And hey, I am busy too. At the same time, I'm busy doing stuff that I enjoy and that are actually effective. Allow yourself to have this mindset. I am busy doing what I want. Yeah, and you can actually be as unbusy, or whatever the opposite of busy is, right? You can be as busy as you want. It's up to you. It's your life is yours. Yeah. Now, to resolve anxiety, something you gotta do is you gotta fast forward to 15 minutes after the successful completion of the event that you thought you were anxious about. Now look back, turn around and look back. You'll laugh. You'll be like, oh my gosh, that was funny. I did it, right? It was easy. Now the question is, why wait till then to laugh? Why wait till then to find yourself feeling at peace? You could do it now. So the trick and the technique is simple. You go to the successful completion of the event, yeah, that you thought you were anxious about. You turn around and you realize, because you've successfully completed it, and your mind can guide you there, if you simply allow yourself to play on the stage of your mind a successful outcome. The reason you were feeling anxious and stressed and worried, it was because you were focusing on the worst outcome, or the outcome that you didn't want. All you have to do is change what you focus on. And guess what? Over time, you won't have to do that anymore, because your mind will naturally focus on the best outcome. And peace will be inevitable. So, as hard as you work to find peace, you just need to relax and focus on what you want. And then you'll find yourself feeling more peace. Yeah? Next, let's talk about freedom. Here's something I gotta ask you. Was there a time that you wouldn't let yourself do what you want? Was there a time that you would not allow yourself to do what you want? Guys, this is so important. If you have ever allowed yourself, not because of discipline or whatever, right? If there was a time that you literally forced yourself to not do what you want because you didn't think you deserve it, because you thought it was too expensive, because you thought whatever you thought, even though you knew it was good for you, yeah? It wasn't like something that wasn't good for you that you wanted. It was something that actually was good. It was win-win and you wanted it, but you didn't let yourself have it, yeah? Let me tell you a quick story. I remember a friend of mine in college, and, I remember we would walk to school sometime, and I would run into him, and he would talk to me about this girl that he has a crush on. And I'm like, why don't you go talk to her? He's like, nah, what if I get turned down? What if I get rejected? What if this and this and this and this? He was not allowing himself to be at peace that he could get the outcome that he want, right? He was playing the anxiety, the worry, the stress in his mind of what if he gets rejected? And I'm like, what if you get accepted? What if she wants you, right? What if she thinks you're cool, right? What if all that works out? He's like, nah. Yeah, his mind was so used to playing the pattern of things not working out, right? So freedom begins, oftentimes, with allowing yourself to do what you want. It's not outside, it's inside. So to have freedom, you must allow yourself to be at peace, yeah? But it's not a prerequisite. You just gotta allow yourself to do what you want. But to be at peace, which is why I talked about that first, you'll find yourself focusing on what you want. And that will aid you in allowing yourself to do what you want. I mean, if you ever want to go on a vacation, you've been wanting to go somewhere, yeah? I remember wanting to go to Santorini for a long time. And I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to go, like next week, or whatever, right? Or, actually, that was Iceland, yeah? I was like, I really want to go to Iceland. And 6 hours later, I was in Iceland. It wasn't like I was rich. It was even before I built the training company. It was in transition. I was in transition. I went from my startup to going to a lot of trainings and then to doing my business, my current business of doing the training business. But in between, I was really broke, right? I was looking for something, and I realized my mind was plateaued. I wasn't letting myself do what I wanted to do for a long freaking time. So I didn't actually have any freedom, I felt like. So I was like, you know what? The breakthrough would be allowing myself to do what I want. And even fast forward, in 2018, when I bought a Porsche 911 GT3, I actually only posted it online a couple times. It wasn't even to show people and attract people into the business using that. At the time, I was using it to prove to myself as a business experiment and a personal experiment that guess what? If I can give myself what I want, what I've always wanted since I was a kid, then what would happen? That's freedom. I gave myself what I want, what I yearn for, and that was freedom. Now, do what makes sense for you, of course, and do also what makes you uncomfortable to push yourself. I'm not going to be suggesting that you do one thing or another. That's up to you. This is your responsibility to choose and pick what you want to do. Yeah? One thing to keep in mind is you got to make sure things make sense. Even when I was doing something that was uncomfortable, I knew I would make my money back because of the things I was doing. And in fact, I was either going to make more money or make even more money. So you got to be in that mindset as you do these things, as you push yourself. And I take no responsibility of what you choose to do because this is up to you. Yeah? You got to take 100% responsibility because that's also the beginning of freedom. You cannot let other people take responsibility for you. You must begin to take full responsibility of your life. Don't say this happened to me. Yeah? You can say that. At the same time, if you say that, your mind will begin to delete what you are responsible and what you can do to change. Your mind would just, because think about it, your unconscious mind takes the path of least resistance to preserve energy. So if you say, oh, someone did that to me, the economy did that to me, or this did that to me, the investor did that to me, what happens is you're neglecting and removing the learnings that you could otherwise receive, the observations, the path to freedom. That wouldn't be something you want to do. So what you want to do instead is that you want to take 100% responsibility because that is the beginning of freedom. Now, next thing we're going to talk about is excitement. So here's another question that's similar to what I've asked you before. When did you find yourself feeling super excited last time? Like when was the last time you find yourself feeling super excited? What about in the specific area of your life that you want to work on, that you want to improve? See, excitement is a lot like happiness. It's a lot like it, except happiness just feels different, of course. Excitement typically will drive a specific type of movement. And it can drive motivation. It can drive whatever you want to attach to it. One thing that I want you to know is that excitement, there is a lot of movement. So if you want to get yourself to do something, you can construct a state of excitement. And to construct that, you want to think about when the last time was that you felt really excited. And if you can find that moment, and you continue to find that moment before, and you stack them together, right? For example, you do that first thing in the morning in your office, or in the place that you work, or even in front of your computer. You would ask yourself, when was the last time I felt totally and super excited? You get into feeling excited, and then you look at your computer or you walk into your office, yeah? And every time you do that, you stack it, you get into your office, you get excited to take action. This is how you construct excitement. You could do that at the front door of your office or your house. Every time you walk in, you get excited, yeah? Now, imagine what would happen if you anchor that feeling of excitement with abundance, with freedom, with peace, yeah, with ease and with speed. Every time you get paid, you anchor it in your office. Guess what? Like even run to your office when you're about to get paid and you see the payment come through. You're like, oh my gosh, this is where I get paid. So every time you walk into your office, you're going to have a mixture of feeling like speed, ease, abundance, happiness, peace, and freedom and excitement and all the good things. Imagine how effective you would be at creating the next level life for yourself, not only in your career, but also in your relationship, because you can apply the same principles in your dating life, if you're dating, and or in your marriage and your, existing relationship, whatever it is that you're in. And you can actually anchor these feelings every time you see these people. And guess what? Tell you a secret. Your state is contagious. Those around you will feel it if you get into it. The greatest mark of a very successful hypnotist is how deep the hypnotist can go. Not the audience, because the deeper the hypnotist can go, inevitably the audience will go. So the deeper you go in your happiness, in your freedom, in your state of peace and excitement and abundance, you will find those around you wanting to be around you more. And you will attract those who represent, who embody these states as well, because like attract like. Guys, this is one of the most important tracks. I want you to listen to it again. When you listen to this again, I want you to pay attention to what else you want. What else you want to feel. And what else you haven't considered that will allow you to feel these good feelings.